Welcome to My Skeptical Sister. I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer. We're back.
We are back, and we have spent the whole evening together, so we might be all talked out.
No, well, it was my oldest daughter's softball game, and so we were both there, but you were running after kids on the playground. We didn't talk much.
That's true. I was pretty much like your babysitter while you got to watch your daughter play.
Oh, my gosh. No, I would have done the exact same thing if you weren't there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. That's submarine parenting.
That's right. You just are more attentive than I am.
No. I'm just more afraid that my child will kill another child on the playground, so I got to make sure I'm constantly, vigilant about watching him. I've got a plug that I'd like to do.
Okay.
For a podcast. And it's, just only because, not really a plug. I just like to recommend a podcast.
Okay.
That I've really gotten into.
Good. I always need them.
Yes. And it's Stay Away from Matthew McGill.
Yeah, you told me about this one, and now I'm listening to it.
Good. It's so good. And the guy that does it, he also did the whole podcast about like Richard Simmons being missing, which was so interesting. But he's such a good storyteller. Yeah. And it's really interesting because it's about a guy that nobody likes and, his whole, but anyway, I'm not going to spoil it. I know that like right now when somebody gives me something good to listen to, I'm like, give it to me. Cause we need uplifting things. And in a weird way, this is a strange uplifting story about a guy that nobody liked, which is weird, but it's just great time, a little time filler. And we had a couple of listeners say they're like new to podcasts and they don't really know. It's a good one.
Those are always good ones to get into. Like a story that goes on, like each week you want to hear more.
Mm-hmm. And this one, I think there's already 6 episodes out, so you can kind of binge it. And it's good. Yeah. So there's my recommendation of the week.
Okay, cool. I don't have anything. I've been watching a lot of Good Girls.
Yeah.
Have you been watching?
Yes. James and I watch it together, but I think I might be an episode or 2 behind.
Well, here's my question for you.
Okay.
Has Stan, Ruby's husband, is he hotter now that he works at that? Now that he's a bad boy and he works at a strip club?
Yes, he is totally hotter.
I did not find him hot when he was like the little like goody two-shoe policeman.
And I didn't notice it until you said it just now, but he is hot. He is hot. He's not like the gangster hot.
No, he's not.
Oh, that guy.
Oh my gosh,
hot.
that guy's beautiful.
Let's all admit it, ladies. That's why we started watching the show to begin with. Like when he's in the previews, like
Rio.
Okay,
is that Rio? Is that his name? Rio is.
I don't care what his name is. It doesn't matter. You could tell me his name is like the goofiest, like Vernon, and I'd be like, oh yeah, he is hot.
Well, Stan is the other guy's name.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
man, they're some good-looking men on that show.
They did a good job casting 2 very hot men in that.
Right, a sleeper hot man. He was not hot in that first season.
No. Yeah, that is true, which is, what does that say about us? I have no idea.
We apparently like bad boys.
We like bad boys. Okay, well, if they're that hot, I'll take them. But yes, I agree. Stan got a lot hotter once he started living on the edge. Yeah, started living on the edge and he became hot.
Maybe it's just he shows off his arms more now.
Oh, yeah, he's got that tight black shirt.
Okay, we're moving on.
Just stop this and go watch reruns of it.
Bye, guys. We're ending early.
That was it. We just came on to tell you to watch those shows because that's what we're doing right now.
Oh, goodness.
No. What else? What do we have from this week?
Well, I wanted to say, if you're listening right now, then you're too late to join May's Patreon in order to get our movie night, because we will be like future us are watching this right now. If you're listening to this when it comes out.
Maybe like while you're listening to this, we're watching our scary movie because it comes out Thursday night.
That's right. And I realized tonight that next month we have to change it to the second Thursday of the month.
Ooh, because we'll be doing our live podcast.
We'll be doing our live show, so we're going to have to change the date.
Okay, well, that's exciting, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming up so soon.
I know. Let's not talk about it anymore.
Okay. We'll both start breaking down hives.
Yeah. Well, I guess we do need to talk about it.
Our live event is at Third Turn in Oldham County, and it's June 17th. Starts at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Free admission. Got to buy your own everything else you want, like your food, your drinks.
We're going to have stickers on sale.
Yes, stickers on sale. If you want one of those, bring a little extra cash because we're not cool enough to take credit cards.
Oh, we are.
Are you?
I downloaded the Squarespace or Square app.
Girl,
so
you are like just stretching yourself, right? I mean, for me, it would be stretching. For you, you're like, whatever. Everybody has it.
No, I don't know if everybody has it, but we do. We can do that.
Okay, well then never mind. Don't bring your cash. No, bring cash so that you can tip your bartenders. How about that?
There you go. And tip us a little bit. We're working on donations.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can give us some donations.
It'd be weird to like Venmo or Square
Yeah.
Cash. Like, I want to donate this. That should be cash because we'll feel awkward. We'll be like, don't do it. Don't do it.
But I mean, you could donate for a sticker.
Right. Oh, that's true. You know, we're gonna price it at $4, but if you want to
pay
more,
then... we're not gonna say no. We'll say okay, and here's your sticker. Probably thank you.
Well, thank you. Sure, of course.
That'd be nice. But yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun, and I'm getting really excited about it. I mean,
I am too.
I do kind of sometimes like fantasize about it in my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be so scary.
No, that's not fantasizing then.
Well, not fantasize, but you know, like you like kind of play it out of what it's gonna be like, and I'm like,
yeah,
I have this weird fear that I'm going to just forget we're up there for a purpose and just start talking to people we know in the audience. And then everybody that doesn't know everybody else in the audience, but so we're just like here to hear them talk to their friends. But no, I'll just be I'll be so excited to see people, you know, because we haven't gotten to see so many people in like a year. And then I've heard like a few friends that I haven't seen in forever going, oh, we're going to come. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I can't wait to talk to you.
We'll have to see if like Miranda can just shine really bright lights at our face.
Yes, we can forget that there's nobody. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Well, I have an epically long story tonight. So I feel like we should get going to the stories.
Perfect. Oh yeah, this is our switcheroo. So if you're just tuning in, and this is your first episode, it's a weird order. Go back to number 1 and listen through. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell you how to listen to your podcast. But last week, I read Kenton's story.
But it was pretty long. So she read half of Kenton's story.
Right. And I also included Kenton's a little long-winded.
Yeah.
He was in person and he is in his writing, which I don't mind. I love long-winded people because I am one myself as well. So I feel like I'm always in good company. Sometimes I'm like, shut up so I can get a word in edgewise and have my own long-windedness. But for the most part, I usually
That's why emails are nice because...
Yeah, that's true. Get it all out. You don't have to be interrupted by me trying to get my word in. But anyway, so Kenton went. And so just to recap last week, it was basically a story about his childhood home. They moved homes, but before they moved, their grandmother Flossie passed away. And he would always run up past the middle floor because he could picture, in my mind, it's just picture Grandma Flossie.
Because he saw Grandma Flossie
sitting in a chair on the telephone. And then come to find out his sister grew up seeing the same thing.
Yes.
So anyway.
And then they moved in to Miss Roman's house. That's important.
Yes. They moved in. The home that they moved into was built by one of their neighbors, Miss Roman.
Yeah. And she lived there and died in the house. And that is now important here.
So here we go. Because I have not read this because now we're switching and I'm going to read Erin's story, where Erin left off on one of her stories.
That's right. Okay. So here we go with Kenton's second half of the story. And there are a lot of mini stories in this. So buckle up.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, now for the sighting of Mrs. Romans. We called the apparition Mrs. Romans because she was the only one who ever lived in that house, and she died in that house. Since I had met her in real life, when she was alive, I knew how big she was, and she was the exact size of the apparition. Which when I first read that, listen, you need to figure out how to rephrase that, Kenton, because as a larger lady,
I was talking about how big she is. How about just
because the next thing is she's a tiny little woman. I was no,
totally picturing her a big lady.
I know. You should say, I knew the size of her.
I knew her exact size.
I knew what she looked like, not how big she was. I read that. I was like, excuse me.
Kenton. Oh, she was tiny. Never mind.
Oh, well, she's tiny. Okay, fine. Whatever. I'm sure nobody will ever describe me as a tiny little outline.
I will. When I see your ghost, your future ghost, I'm like, oh, look at our girl. She's been working out in the afterlife.
Look at that little tiny ghost. It was a tiny outline of a woman who was standing at the bottom of the stairs, walking into the downstairs laundry room, standing on the first step, going to the top floor, and walking around in the landing of the third floor. So right in the stairway, he's seeing this woman. And it goes on. I'm going to read more, but it's not a one-time thing.
Okay.
It was a crazy thing that happened. Seeing her standing on the stairs, it literally takes your breath and it scares the crap out of you when you see her. You can feel the presence of a woman standing in front of you. Hey there. And sorry. And the outline of her. It wasn't outlined in a bright white light or anything like that. It's just that you could see in the pitch black the outline of a small woman. So that is so scary. Like picture it being dark, but you can kind of just see like the darkness of an outline. That is so scary. I do not like that. It sounds a lot like that movie that we're going to watch this Thursday. I'm very
Don't you wish you were here with us now?
I literally watched that preview for 11 seconds, and I was like, I don't want to watch anymore by myself. And
how funny. I don't even think I've watched it all the way through yet either.
Okay, sorry, going back. If you're sitting on the sofa in the basement, she'll catch your eye. You can be watching something, and all of a sudden your head will turn, and you see this little outline of a woman run into the laundry room. I know this sounds okay.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it's definitely terrifying.
Was that the end of that sentence?
No.
Terrifying? Because that sounds terrifying. A little tiny woman darting anywhere. I mean, kind of funny too, but also like, what are you doing, girl?
She's like, I know I'm a ghost, but I got to get this laundry folded.
Get the laundry done. It's a residual. I'm a residual ghost. I always have to keep doing this laundry.
Oh, that's
quickly.
So bad.
No, that's awful.
Okay, no. What it extra said was, I know this sounds crazy and could just be your mind playing tricks on you, but it happened way too often to just be a natural occurrence. I couldn't count how many times I literally have stopped dead in my tracks before I got to the first step and lost my breath looking at the apparition of a woman standing in front of me. I also feel like I read that so fast, and I'm not going to reread it, so I hope you were listening.
I don't think it was too fast.
Okay.
Put her on slow-mo. You can do that on podcasts. You'll sound so drunk. And
speaking of which, I'm going to take a drink.
Yes, good job.
Hey, Bizarros. I'm Gaz Morgan, host of the Bizarro Aficionado podcast. If you're looking for something different, news of the strange, weird locations, history, or just plain odd, head on over to the Bizarro Aficionado podcast. Pull up a chair and join myself, my friends, and whomever we meet along the way for a good laugh, and maybe we'll all even learn something too. You can find us on Stitcher, Apple, Podbean, and wherever fine podcasts are served. We'll be waiting. Stay bizarro.
Okay, now he's talking directly to you. Remember, I was telling you at the bar?
I don't remember because I was at a bar. Sorry, Kenton.
Well, it's okay. I'm going to refresh your memory.
Good.
Remember, I was telling you at the bar a story of my powder blue Camry? My mom was working at Bacon's in the Bashford Manor Mall. I think by this time they had changed it to Dillard's. Why is that important? None of that.
Told you, long-winded. Love them. God love them.
I'm going to just
details.
I'm going to reread
details.
Why? Why do we name two different places? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Because you tell stories like I do. I find it endearing. I find it very endearing.
Oh, okay. My sister was going to FHU and had bought me one of those wallets that you attach to your keychain that would hold your ID picture and had a zipper for changing money. When my mom got home, I asked her where my car keys were because I couldn't find them. She said she had thrown them towards the television, thinking they would land on top. At the time, more parentheses. I'm so sorry. At the time. Oh my gosh. Okay. At the time, my parents had one of those TVs, and it was in a wooden case. Why? So long.
It reminds me of how Melissa Davis used to always make so much fun of me because I would tell stories and it'd be so long. But then my other friend Monique, one time, she would make fun of me. I'm like, Melissa, I think you're the only one that thinks that I tell stories really long. Like, you're the only one that, razzes me about it. And she's like, okay. And then we're at a party one night, and I don't know what story I was telling, but apparently at some point, someone was going to be naked in the story. But I was building up to it. And out of nowhere, Monique, who was so nice to everybody, she's like, for the love of God, would you tell the story? When did they get naked? And I was like, oh, maybe I do tell stories.
I mean, good Lord here. Okay.
Told you, he and I are kindred spirits. We're
Oh
long-winded.
She said she had thrown them towards the television, thinking they would land on top. And she had missed the top of the TV and hit the screen and thought for a brief moment that she was going to break the glass of the screen. So she told me my keys were lying in front of the television. All of this is just to let you know that his mom was very aware of where the keys are. Kenton, I am so sorry. You met the nicer sister, apparently, because I'm not being nice tonight.
No. It's just your details are pissing her off for some reason.
No, they're not pissing me off. They're just a lot.
Oh, it's making me laugh though.
All right, so apparently, I'm looking at this. They never found the keys. I mean, they never found the keys that day. Years later, my family had a gas leak in our front yard that had made a weird brown stain of grass at the front. LG&E came out with a backhoe and dug up the front yard, only to find on the top of the dirt, after digging several feet, my keys. That is weird. That is so weird. They didn't find this in the first scoop. We're talking, this was down 6 or 8 feet into the ground. How in the world? That is so weird. We didn't have a pet, so I can't even blame it on an animal as to how the keys were buried in the front yard. My keys had no rust on them, and the pictures inside were pristine.
Ooh, weird.
That is super weird. Like, so deep.
Yeah.
I feel like I could, I don't know. Maybe you could debunk and say something grabbed it, but that deep down seems super weird.
No, the only thing I'm thinking is, if they fell, like if they got thrown and they landed in some sort of pipe or something. I don't know the layout of the floor or whatnot, or somehow they could have
Gone through the plumbing?
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, somehow they could have gone through a vent, something that ended up, and then maybe, yes, a small animal, a mole, some sort of animal like that, maybe carried it through the
I need
yard.
to know if we have any plumbers that listen to this.
And is that possible? Well, I mean, or a vent, like it
Yeah.
went down. Like, I don't know if there's like a crawl space underneath their
Yeah.
house that the keys could have somehow made it to that bottom floor,
Yeah.
and then some sort of animal scurried. I mean, animals do pick weird things to try to build nests out of and things like that. So
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, that is, to me, even as the skeptic, I'm stretching myself right there, because
Yeah, that's really
I'm finding
weird.
it very strange. And the only other thing I could think of is that maybe you had like an enemy or somebody in your house that was like, I'm really going to screw with you, and I'm going to.
That is
like,
so much
I mean,
work to bury it.
I mean, but they're like,
Just throw 'em
they'll
away.
never find them.
Throw them away.
8 feet down.
I will bury these 8 feet. That's how much I hate Kenton
That's
and his
right.
long-winded
Ugh.
stories.
It was Aaron, Kenton.
I'm just kidding.
It was
Kenton.
Aaron.
Kenton, I love
She
you.
did it.
I'm so sorry. It was me. I went back in time.
Back in time, yes, just for the story. You knew we were going to have a podcast.
I'm a time traveler.
You are the
It's
time
solved.
traveler. We debunked it in a roundabout way, but we got there.
I am
It's
so
you.
excited to learn that someday I'll get to time travel. Another story. My mom had bought a makeup kit. This goes along with that one in the same weird
Okay.
showing up again.
Okay.
My mom had bought a makeup kit. She had set it in her room only to find it missing. For months, this makeup kit was gone. Then suddenly, after all this time, she went into her room and that makeup kit was sitting in the middle of her bed, surrounded by pillows.
Ooh, that's weird.
Right?
Surrounded by pillows?
Yeah, like a weird little makeup
like
altar.
a shrine. Yeah.
It's weird. So keys disappear and then pop up years later. Makeup kit disappears and then is a sacred.
Yeah.
Spot.
Not a burial spot, but like a sacred little shrine. I just keep thinking like that ghost had to look good after all that application. It's like doing its contouring. It's like, I look good, and then finally it's like, I'm bored with this. I'm gonna put that makeup kit back.
Poor Miss Romans, she doesn't even realize she's only the silhouette.
I forgot about this. This is all Miss Romans supposedly doing this.
I think so.
Well,
Yeah.
what the hell's up with Miss Romans? Like,
Maybe she never got makeup when she was
maybe
alive.
she
She's
could
a
never
little
drive,
lady.
so she like tried to take those keys.
Oh, I was like, why? What do you know about Miss Romans?
Your face was hilarious. Why couldn't Miss Romans drive, Megan?
I was like, oh no, what's
What?
the backstory on Miss
Who
Romans?
is holding this woman back?
Nobody's letting her wear makeup or drive? What's going on with this
is what I
lady?
wish were recorded, like videoed, because your face looks so shocked, like, oh, poor Miss Romans. But no, I'm thinking like she stole those keys.
You're right. Okay, I'm with you now.
Okay.
One night, my mom and I were home alone. Our rooms were separate, about one wall, and we were on the same side of the hallway. We both heard someone walk up the stairs, walk to the end of the hallway where there was a curio cabinet. Do you think that's what that's? I meant to look it up.
I have heard that before. Curio cabinet. I feel like that's like maybe something that holds music. Like,
Oh, Okay.
I'm just pulled that out of my ass.
I've been wrong. I've confidently stated things like guffaw and then read it later. I was like, oh crap, that's not what that meant.
Was it not? I thought it was.
No, I think it's just a noise. Oh, it's a loud laugh. It's a loud laugh.
Oh, okay.
We both heard someone walk up the stairs, walk to the end of the hallway where there was a curio cabinet, and smash it to the floor. At the exact same time, we both hit the floor thinking, holy crap. We both heard the glass shattering. When we arrived in the hallway, nothing was wrong. No one was there, and nothing was broken.
That's really weird.
That is super weird.
So, like, we can't say explosive head.
Right, because 2 people had that. Is that a thing?
Is that a phenomenon?
No, it's not. But that's a ghost.
Whenever someone says phenomenon, you go, ba-dum-ba-dum.
Every time.
Okay, good.
Phenomenon.
As soon as I said that, I could care less about what happened. I just wanted to sing that song really bad.
It's weird. Do you have a demon?
Did I think that? I'm still kind of sitting here going, dun, dun.
You've forgotten about the whole phenomenon.
I did. I'm still singing in my head. Okay. Get back, center. Okay. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm going to say maybe it's a UFO. Maybe it is some sort of sound that maybe happened outside of the home, but it sounded like it was so inside.
Yeah, but they like heard steps going down the hall.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And they were the only ones home for sure, or they were the only ones, or like the only people that lived in the home at the time. I think they were the only ones at home that they know of, right?
Yeah, and they're like the bougie Kenton. He has like
that's true.
A middle floor and
right, a pool.
This is their bigger house that they moved to.
Yeah, that's
Kenton
true.
is set up.
I know, right? I don't know, Kenton. Hire a security guard. You have the money. I don't know.
I don't know. It's spooky.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, I think this is the last story. Nope, it's not. Just kidding. We got 2 more.
Oh, I love you, Kenton. I love you. Okay, go for it.
My sister used to date a guy named Mike. At the time when he dated my sister, my parents were very much a boy cannot be on the same floor where the bedrooms were because that was taboo. So, which is exactly how Mom and Dad were. And then I would sneak up and
oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of sneaking going on.
I'm glad Mom and Dad stopped listening.
Me too.
But I don't think that my mother-in-law has stopped, and I'm about to tell a story about her.
So this is snap.
So,
about your mother-in-law.
Well, the first time I went and spent the night with at Kevin's, because he lived in Canada, so I had to like trek up there. Like it was a trip. It wasn't like I was just going to go for the day. I was there for the weekend.
Melinda, you're about to get the goods.
No, it's not that good. Okay. It's not that good.
Okay, I'm getting excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it. But anyways, I'm used to our mom and dad who were like, not until marriage, you filthy tour. So
you hear.
So Kevin, it was time for bed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up to my room or whatever. And he was like, just stay, it's fine. I was like, no, there is no way.
I am a proper lady. I will sneak down later, Kevin.
Yes, I will not let your family think that
No, we will hide
am
that.
A hussy.
Like proper people do.
That's right. So he finally convinced me. And I was like, okay.
Oh my
He's like,
gosh,
my parents
I
don't
would
care.
not. I don't think I would have been able to be convinced.
I know. Well, young love.
I
know. He convinced me. So he was like, my parents are not even going to pay attention to it. It's fine. I'm like, okay. And then the next morning, I go upstairs. I'm sitting at the table, and she said,
no.
Did you sleep? Did you both sleep down there? And I was like,
gosh, I would have been red instantly.
Yeah, it was horrible. Like I've never felt such dread. And Kevin calmly goes, yeah. And she goes, why didn't you guys go upstairs? That bed is way more comfortable. And it was like,
Melinda is cool.
Gosh, I know she's cool. I'm very lucky.
I mean, she's cool, but are you going to be that cool with your
No,
girls?
I probably won't be that cool.
No, we'll make them sneak around. Right?
Yeah, just for character building.
I think
I feel like I could vomit just thinking of that.
At that level of shame.
Right.
Oh, I know. Okay, so this is definitely, it's good. I really do. I'm giving a lot of information, and I'm so glad Mom and Dad are not listening. One time.
I'm so excited.
I don't think you've ever heard this story.
I'm so excited. I'm putting my phone down. Okay, go.
I don't think you've ever heard it. You may have, but I was dating this boy, and this is in high school, and his name was Charles, and
Oh, I love Charles.
I know, I did too. He's passed away since, but he was, I mean, other than James, probably the best boyfriend I ever had. He was a great guy. But we're in high school and we were at his house and his mom was supposed to be at work. So there's supposed to be nobody home. And of course we're making out, whatever. We're in his bedroom. Now, listen, I will say my top was off, but that was about it. That was the only thing. I still had my bra on. Everything was fine. Probably would have gone somewhere else had she not come home early.
Oh, no.
From work. And she walks in, opens the door. Oh, she's the sweetest woman ever. Oh, my goodness. And then shuts the door. And I am dying. I mean, I'm dying.
No.
Dying. I'm under the covers. Like, I remember just instantly covers over my head, like tears, crying. Like, this is horrifying. And he's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I get out of here? Like, just how do I, like, what is it? Teleport. I just wanted to teleport so bad anywhere else other than this room.
Oh.
He comes back. He's like, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm like, it's not fine. There is nothing okay about this situation at all. And he was like, it's fine. She wants to know if you want to stay for dinner. I was like,
oh my gosh. No. I never want to see you again.
Yeah. Oh, and I did not stay for dinner. I was like, absolutely not. He was like, well, that's rude if you don't stay for dinner. I'm like, I will be rude. I'm not going to sit across the dinner table.
Oh my gosh.
From sweet Sherry. She's the sweetest woman ever. I'm not going to do it. And so, I mean, I don't even know. She and I are still friends. And I don't know if she also loved me so much. She would always talk about, like, I wish you and Charles would have ended up together. And I love her so much. But anyway, long story short, I did not stay for dinner, and I never did that again. I was like, poor guy. He's like, oh man, I was getting so close. I'm like, yeah, your mom ruined it all because we're never going that close again. I'm terrified.
Can you tell that we were raised super conservative Christians?
Super,
the shame that comes with sex.
Oh my gosh, yes, super conservative.
I will not raise my kids like that. I promise you.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll set boundaries. I think boundaries are healthy for sure, and we will teach them health.
Yes. Now we're just going off on a big tangent. But I heard great advice from
if Kenton can do it, we can do it. Okay.
I know. So I've been bitching about this whole day. Now I'm like, yeah, it's my story. I'm going right. But I heard great advice that it was from another podcast that I listened to, and she said her advice to her stepdaughter who turned 13 was, you are not allowed to have sex until you can openly talk to your partner about
sex,
about everything about it.
That's so smart.
This is like what I'm excited about. This is what I'm scared about. When you are comfortable enough to talk about it, then that's fine.
I want to be a fly on the wall when you have the sex talk with any one of your girls.
Oh, I've already had the sex talk with Sophie.
That's amazing. I've already the best
kind of had the sex talk with Nora, but just like
how did we turn out to be such good moms? We always we always talk about what bad moms we are, but let's take a moment here because how do we be? Our mother did not even tell us that periods were going to happen.
No.
That was not even talked about until they happened. And it was like, oh, you're a woman and this is a great... I'm like, we are dying.
Yeah. No, I definitely thought I was dying. It was
horrible.
Terrifying. And then I remember I wanted Mom to watch Now and Then with me because it was my favorite movie. But they do talk about sex in that movie. And I was nervous about watching it with her. So finally one day she was folding laundry. I was, I think, a freshman in high school.
Oh, and I said...
Mom, I really want you to watch it with me. And she's like, okay, I'll watch it. And I was like, but they do talk about the birds and the bees. And I do know about that. And she got real quiet while she was folding laundry. And she said, well, I figured you learned about that on the bus.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is submarine parenting.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That right there that is done beautifully. And she was right. I mean, we figured it out. It was messy at times, and we had to navigate our way through a lot of shit, but we learned about it one way or the other.
Oh my gosh.
God love her.
Okay, well, let's go back to Kenton's story.
Okay, yes.
Good grief. I'm so sorry, Kenton. I'll never complain about your stories again.
It's so true. Okay, I love it.
Okay, so I'm just going to start from the beginning because do y'all even remember what we were talking about?
From the beginning?
No. From the beginning of this paragraph.
Whew, I was like, we're going to be here forever.
We're starting over. Okay, my sister dated a guy named Mike.
Oh, that's right.
At the time when he dated my sister, my parents were very much a boy cannot be on the same floor where the bedrooms were because that was taboo. So when he stayed over, he slept in the basement. He had a Siberian Husky named Tyson. When we got up that morning, Mike was gone. My sister called, and he explained to my sister that in the middle of the night, an apparition, not an apparition, it's like
an apparition.
Isn't that like a Native American?
We had this conversation last week, okay. And I Googled it. No, you think an Appalachian?
Oh my gosh, I promise this is only my first drink.
Oh my gosh, I love when you drink tequila.
My sister called him, and he explained to my sister that in the middle of the night, an apparition. Yeah, is that right? An apparition?
An apparition.
Okay, I'm sorry. It sounds wrong every time.
I say it?
No, I remember last week. I do remember.
Because you said an apparition.
No, I didn't. I said apparition.
Apparition, and it's apparition.
Okay.
Entered his body.
He said he was literally lying there screaming for someone to help him. He reached over and grabbed the dog as hard as he could, hoping the dog would yelp to get someone's attention. He said when whatever entered him left, he realized he was lying there holding nothing. The dog was nowhere near him. In the middle of the night, he got up and left, and he refused from that day forward to even enter our house. That's weird.
No, it's not at all. It's sleep paralysis. He had his first case of sleep paralysis. Because here's the thing. Again, we won't go through my whole story again. If you want to hear it, it's in a past episode. I have no idea which one. Do the work. You can figure it out. But when I had it, you feel like you're screaming.
Yeah.
And no sound is coming out. So that's what he was experiencing. Like, he wakes up. He feels like he's doing these things, but nothing's happening with his body. Therefore, nothing is happening around him. No one's responding. So that's scary. It is the scariest thing ever. It's scarier than seeing a ghost because they don't exist. It is sleep paralysis, which does exist.
All right.
Okay. Just saying. Now, I'm not getting defensive. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, this last one is weird and I don't understand it. Flash forward several years. I'm in college and home for the weekend. I'm lying in bed watching probably Dateline or 2020 in the late afternoon. As I'm watching the show, I'm literally overtaken by something. I feel like from my head to my toes, I'm being picked up with tiny little needles. I cannot breathe. I cannot scream. I cannot move. And remember, this is mid-afternoon. He doesn't sound like he's asleep.
He accidentally fell asleep watching Dateline. Okay, go ahead.
It felt like it lasted a lifetime. To this day, I can remember that it felt like being picked up with 1 billion needles, trying so hard to scream for help and not being able to do anything. And just as quickly as it started, it was gone. This has never happened to me before and never happened since.
Yep. Second case of sleep paralysis in that home.
Well, then that is something.
Oh, what? Oh, like this ghost is causing sleep paralysis?
Sure.
No, this means human beings live in this home and sleep paralysis is a common thing that happens to human beings.
Ugh. If I can think of more to add to this, I'll send it to you. My parents own several homes for a rack. Sorry.
Okay, Kenton. We already got the middle floor. We got the pool. Now we get it. You got several homes, dude.
That they stay at throughout the year. But this is the only house we've ever had anything like this happen. Hope you enjoyed this. And if you're truly skeptical,
come stay at those homes.
And if you're truly skeptical, come stay the night.
Oh, at which home? I'm going to choose the beach house.
No, at the scary one. Nothing happens at the other ones.
He just
said nothing happened. We own several homes.
Okay. I hear him. I hear what he's saying. Here's what I'm going to say. To make sure that in case anything is happening at the beach house, that's the one I choose.
What's that scientific, what's the one?
A barometer. I need to be.
No, a barometer.
What's a barometer?
You know when you run a test and one is the.
Oh, like a placebo.
Oh, daggone it. I know people are yelling this right now.
I know it too. Hold on. You have to have a control.
Control.
Thank you. See,
the beach house is our control.
Yes. I have to go stay at the beach house first.
But then you got to stay at the scary house.
I'll totally stay at the scary house with the pool for sure. But yes, I'm going to say those last two were sleep paralysis. Just two separate incidences and Dateline mid-afternoon. I mean, that sounds relaxing to me. I'd fall asleep to that.
All right. Well, I tried, kitten.
Yeah, you tried. You also suffered through as long.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry,
No,
Kenton. We love you. Please keep listening. And I'm so sorry.
He will keep Kenton. If you don't keep listening, I will call you out the next time I see you at some bar.
And next time I see you at a bar, I'll just duck.
You will call her out, Kenton.
I'll duck and I'll run away.
So do you want to recap Caitlin's story, or do you want me to?
Okay, so I'll recap, I think. You might have to help me, but I think I've got it. So okay. Caitlin wrote in the story, Haunted House Part 1. Mm-hmm. She is the one who broke her poor leg, and her family abandoned her to go on vacation without her when she was 16.
Yes, and she talks about that in the first part of this, which is hilarious. But yes, and then her house was... according to her, haunted AF. I said it was a squatter.
I feel like this is your most reasonable squatter argument. It was her story.
Really? Well, thank you.
It seemed like when I was reading it, I was like, girl, this sounds like a squatter.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer. And I was still like, get out of the house.
Well, yeah. Because
it's coming from within the house.
Yeah, because she they heard stuff above them.
Yeah.
It was a specific place that would happen. And then things would get moved. Like her mom had like a pile of coupons and they got moved, or just like weird things getting moved, but not buried 8 feet under the ground. That one, that's a little bit.
That's true.
That is a lot of work for a squatter. And why? Like, what is wrong with you, squatter? So bored. Like I was so bored. No, so I'm not going squatter with Kenton's, but I did go squatter with Caitlin's the first time. So you ready for her?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
This is Haunted House number 2 of 2.
All right.
So this is it. No more from Caitlin unless she moves.
Oh, we can only hope.
One can only hope. Okay, here we go. Maybe into one of Kenton's empty houses.
Yeah, he's got several.
Right. Hit Kenton up. We'll cook you up, Caitlin.
And the rest aren't haunted, so we won't get any more stories.
I mean, we could make them haunted. We could figure a way out to get into those beach houses. He never said beach house. Totally. In my mind, they're all beach houses. Okay.
He's got one house in Kentucky and the rest are beach houses. Several.
That's exactly how that works. Okay. Hey again, it's Caitlin. She, her. I'm finally getting around to sending in my second haunted house story. Also, y'all's commentary on my first story cracked me up. And yes, my family was more than willing / totally okay to leave me. Oh, it's hilarious. To leave me at home with a broken ankle while they drove to Kentucky for the week.
Well,
so
then I get it.
Where is she from? Do we know where Caitlin's from?
I don't know. Did it say in the first one?
That's like a weird coincidence. And she said y'all's. So I totally thought she was from Kentucky for a minute, but she said they drove to Kentucky for the week. And
why would you
come
in
here
Kentucky for a whole week?
I mean, we got some fun places, I guess, but I mean,
like a long weekend, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not from here, just hit us up. We'll tell you where to come for a weekend.
Yeah,
not a week. Okay, and it was definitely brought up in therapy.
Oh, good.
I know you needed to work
on that
shit. And then she puts like the emoji, the laughing, but like with the sweating bullet. Anyways, here's my second haunted experience. When I was around 9 or 10 years old, I was living with my mom and stepdad. We had just moved into a new trailer with nice neighbors who had kids our age, so it was pretty nice at first. Then I started experiencing weird stuff, and later in life, I cross-referenced with my mom. To start, I would get a super uneasy feeling when alone in the house, like something is wrong, this is unsafe. Oh, that's a weird feeling.
That's not good. You should always trust your gut.
Exactly. Always trust that gut. Oh, she says this weird feeling in my gut. Trust it. I would all but suffocate myself at night from bundling up so tightly, head to toe, in my blanket because I was absolutely terrified of the darkness in this house.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his mom. If like my child, I don't know if she ever told her mom. Like that's always hard when you hear these stories later on in life. You're like, why wouldn't you tell me that?
Right.
You wouldn't believe me, or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes you worry as a parent that they wouldn't come to you about that. But if she did tell her mom that, like that would be heart-wrenching because like, well, this is our home and you need to get over it. I don't know how to make you get over it.
Maybe that's why she didn't go to her mom. Golly.
shit, that's why my kids won't come to me. 'Cause I'm like, well, it's so sad. Get over it.
I mean, I would
We
be
ain't
thinking
moving.
that, but you gotta verbalize it differently.
I would definitely. I'm sure that I would teach them different techniques and strategies to cope with their anxiety. That's what I would do. Okay. The weirdest thing was the bad feeling I'd get from being in my mom's room or her bathroom. The weirdest thing was the bad feeling I'd get from being in my mom's room or her bathroom. I tried my best to never go in there or even near the door. My mom told me about how she'd hear footsteps and had the same weird feeling I did from the house. One particular story she told me was about a coffee cup sliding on its own off the counter and breaking. She could have been a little boozy.
That's hilarious.
Well, it's hilarious, and
It's probably how our kids will
it's
describe it.
exactly what I was thinking, and probably how our kids.
boozy.
They were a little boozy from time to time.
Oh.
She could have been a little boozy, so I don't know how much I believe that story. LMAO. My mom later told me that the previous tenant of our trailer had died of a heart attack in the master bedroom / bathroom. So maybe that explains the weird sounds and vibes. Maybe I'm cursed with living in haunted houses, or maybe I stayed up too late reading Twilight and watching the ID channel, and my mind was playing tricks on my 10-year-old self. Who knows? I love the podcast, and y'all are so funny.
We love you too. And I love anytime Twilight naturally gets brought up by someone other than me.
And I love it because Aaron loves it so much.
I love it so much. It literally makes me so happy to think about Twilight.
That's hilarious.
That is really a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, she says maybe she's cursed to live in haunted houses, but now I'm assuming she's off on her own. What's going on now?
What's going on in your house now?
Maybe you broke the curse.
Here's what I'm going to say. If you think about it hard enough, it's going to happen, Kaylin. So I don't will it to happen. Because that, to me, that's
you're going to manifest it.
Yes. Well, that's going to be your imagination. Like, I've tried to explain this many times to you. Like, when you sit there and you think about something, you're like, I can make it happen in my brain.
No, you've explained it. I understand your theory. It doesn't mean that I have to believe it because you explained it well.
That's true. And I'm not saying you have to believe it. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying to Kaylin right now. Like, if you have a nice new home that you're like, nothing's happened in it, don't sit there and dwell on it and be like, well, is it going to happen in this house? No, it doesn't need to. If you can stop thinking about it and think about something else.
Yeah, just think about Edward.
I was like, scissor hands? Where did that come? Boy, that really does tell our age right there. Because when you say Edward, I go scissor hands. You go, what's his last name?
Cullen.
Oh, Cullen.
What's wrong with you?
I have no idea.
It doesn't tell our age.
Nothing is wrong with me. I was going to say, I have no idea how you know so much about Twilight.
I know. I feel like I could go on Twilight trivia without any training. That'd be so
I feel like you need a Twilight podcaster to go in on
Twilight outlet. Like, I need to talk about Twilight.
It's a movie. It's a book.
No, it's the book.
It's what it is.
The movies are fine. The books are so good, and it's all I want to talk about all the time.
I know, and it's strange, but
I really feel like I do a good job refraining from talking about it.
You do. I mean,
as long as you know that 100% of the time I'm down to talk about Twilight, and I very rarely do.
Oh, I know. You do a lot of good self-control. That's what I tell my kids all day long at work. Well, except for the ones that don't have the good self-control. I'm like, you need to work on that self-control. But you, Aaron, with your Twilight and your obsession with wanting to talk about it, it just comes out at the right times. You're like, can I please? You ask permission first. I'm like, sure, go ahead. I've never turned you down yet.
You have
go for it. But anyway, Kaylin, back to your Twilight story. No. You were watching too much Twilight, girl. No,
Twilight's not scary. It's romantic.
Okay, well, I love also Kaylin so much because she debunks so much of it for me. She's like, my mom's a little bit boozy, so who knows? And I don't know. I mean, if she saw it happen or if she didn't see it happen, she sure thought it happened enough to tell you about it. And then, I mean, that dark feeling in that place, I don't know. I do believe, and I've said this before on here, I do believe in like negative energy of sorts. Mm-hmm. Maybe there was a predator nearby that you didn't feel safe around. Mm. Maybe there was something in that spot that did not feel okay. And your instincts and your intuition is like, protect. Yeah. Which I hope, and it sounds like you did. So I'll just leave it there. Like something wasn't right with that place and you knew it, and that's good. And hold on to that. That's a good thing. Don't ever dismiss it.
Yeah, absolutely. You should always trust your gut. I was just telling Sophie that the other day.
Okay, but I also say this. Maybe don't wrap yourself up so tight you can't get away.
Yeah, what would you do? What's your defense then?
Yeah, right at that point. I mean, you got to be real still and look like I'm just a rolled up like
I'm just a blanket.
It's just a
burrito.
rug rolled up in the corner, I swear. I mean, really, it's kind of a good defense. If you can like become something else, you can disguise yourself. But my advice would be on that is hopefully by this point you're not there anymore, and now you can make sure your home feels safe and secure.
Yes, that's good. But I do think your house was probably haunted.
Possibly.
Okay,
that's as far as you're going to get with me.
That's it.
Possibly.
That's all I'm going to give you too. It's like, okay, you're wrong, but let's move on.
Hey, we can agree with that. We can agree on a possibility.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Either direction.
All right, guys, this was a fun night.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. And I got a fan favorite.
Oh, that's right. Let's go.
So this week's fan favorite is not only a fan favorite, but also a fan friend. I've known her, and I don't think you've ever met her, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So I've known Amy, golly, for probably 10 or 15 years now. A friend of a friend, and she's just awesome. She's a lot of fun, and talk about a fun laugh. Her laugh is contagious. It's loud. It's boisterous. It's amazing. It's one of those like you like wait for it to happen, and you're like, oh, there it is, and then I'm gonna laugh so hard with it.
Like your goal to get it out.
It is for sure. So anyway, but Amy is the reason why we picked her as a fan favorite for two reasons. One, just I haven't seen her in years, and so she's just started popping up on this Facebook page that we have, and she's just constantly adding things and supporting us and telling us how great we are. We love to hear that. But also, she's offering us free Reiki.
I know.
So neither one of us have ever done that. So
never.
Very excited. She reached out and she's like, we can do that free Reiki. And I'm like, okay, let's do that free Reiki. Let's see how that goes.
Book it.
Yeah, we do need to book it. So so we thought that was really awesome. And she just is there for us. And I really think that's cool. And she is very positive.
I always love the people on Facebook who are not only just waiting to respond to something, but are like putting stuff out there. And I feel like she's big on that. Like,
yeah, she'll put when she sees something, and well, first of all, if you're friends with her personally, her shit's hilarious anyway. But when she knows that something will apply and our listeners and fellow listeners will like it, she puts it on there, and that brings people in. And so I think that does a great job. Okay, so she said, because I talked her up a lot and said how much I loved her, and that's why I chose her. So she said, "Oh, you totally made my day. You two are freaking hysterical." I mean, we think we are. We don't know. I listen to the podcast on Fridays as I drive home from work and laugh all the way home.
Oh,
can you please give a shout out and promote the Lotus Counseling and Wellness Center? Okay, first of all, yes, because you asked us to, but yes, for sure, because then she tells me everything they do, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Okay, tell me.
I'm gonna right now. It's your one-stop wellness shop. We provide psychotherapy, yoga classes for all levels, massage. Oh, I did tell her I was gonna have to look up a lot of these words on how to say them because
okay, I'm excited. Let's go.
You ready? Shamanic. Let me see. Shamanic. Nah, I don't feel like that's right. Shamanic healing. For those who would like to know, SHAMANIC.
We didn't look it up. So there you go.
Shamanic healing. If you thought that one was rough, listen to this one.
Oh no. Oh dear.
What? That can't be a word.
Let me see.
You try it. Right there.
Ayurvedic.
Now that does sound like an onomatopoeia. Okay. Ayurvedic.
Oh,
Ayurvedic. Didn't that sound good? I came up with that. Ayurvedic wellness, yoni, steaming, and Reiki. which we need to schedule for you ladies with yours truly, LOL.
Yes.
We are located in Fern Creek at the corner of Bardstown and Long Home Road, not too far from Aspen Creek and Blue Halo. Heading southbound on Bardstown Road from 265 East. Here is our website, which we will put on our Facebook page for sure. Love listening to you, lovelies, and I'm going to find a way to make it to the live podcast. Cheers, gals.
Yay.
And then she puts the website there. So
I'll put that in the show notes too. But
definitely. And then hopefully, I haven't clicked on it yet. Hopefully it'll explain what all those things are because they sound amazing. But I am down. I mean, I am a huge advocate for all things wellness. This is mental health month.
Oh, nice.
Mental health awareness month.
Well, dang, let's schedule that Reiki appointment right now.
Right now for our mental health, yes. But for real, so we'll just end on that note as far as like taking care of yourself. It is so important. It's important if you, whatever walk of life you're in, if you are single, if you're a mother, if you are married with no kids. I mean, every walk of life, mental health is important.
Absolutely.
I say this because I can remember as a single woman thinking that like I didn't deserve self-care because only mothers, because they're really busy and or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was absolutely untrue. Like I luckily discovered that was untrue before I became a mom. So I say that in case there's anybody out there that's like, well, I don't need self-care because I'm not taking care of a lot of other people. That's bullshit because if you're walking around in this world, you're taking care of other people. So take care of yourself for sure and do it by looking into this facility. And we're very happy to plug that.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome. And I cannot wait for a Reiki massage. I've literally always wanted to do it.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe in it.
I don't either.
So excited to find out whether I do or not.
I know. I'm glad that she seems open to the fact that we both might not.
Well, she knows I'm a skeptic.
I know. And I want to believe. I'm like Scully. No, I'm like Mulder. I want to believe.
Oh, you're a Mulder. I'm definitely a Scully.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%.
100.
Oh my gosh. That should be our first merch. It's just our faces in their bodies.
Superimposed. That's so smart.
So
Stephanie, work on that. Work on that, Stephanie. So go check that out. And we love Amy.
Yes. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for all of that. And thank you for being a listener and a fan and promoting us.
Coming to our live. And I mean, if you can, if not, we won't hold it against you. I mean, I will be like, did you see Amy tonight? She said she was coming.
I hope so, because I've never met her. I want to meet her.
Oh, yeah, she's great. And again, that laugh.
I know. Now that's my goal, is to get that laugh
you'll
out of
hear
her.
it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
Okay. If you guys want to support our podcast, you can subscribe, rate, and review.
Mm-hmm.
Or to any podcast you listen to, but make sure ours is first.
Do us first, then everybody else.
And if you got a 4-star or less, then just send us an email and tell us what we need to work on. Don't put that out into the universe.
Nobody needs the negativity.
That's right. You can find us on Facebook at My Skeptical Sister fan page. We're very active there.
TikTok.
We're on TikTok. I got to do something. I'll do something tonight because I have not done anything.
I might. I'm a little tipsy.
Okay.
It might be my turn. I have no idea. That's not going to happen unless you literally record me doing a tip-top. A tip-top.
A tip-a-top. A tip-a-top is a day to you.
Now that I would join an app called Tip-a-top.
Oh my God.
That isn't that right up my alley.
Oh.
Tippity-top of the day. Oh, I can just see it right now.
Join us when we start that application.
Yes, I got to figure out how to make an app. But once I do, it's on. We're on right there.
Just old, drunk women.
Tippity-top of the hat.
Tip of the top of the day. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
You might be on to something.
No, we're not.
You're not, because I'm totally picturing in my head. Hats rolling. Okay.
Shoo.
Bring it down.
Okay. Find us on Instagram. Although we don't do a lot on Instagram. We need to get better at our social media.
Just listen to us. Who cares?
That's true. But listen, if you are a cool tech savvy person and want to take that on
as a volunteer role,
we're here for it.
I mean, we might bring you home some leftovers from that crab dinner, but that's about it.
But if you do nothing else, listen and tell your friends about us.
I thought you were saying like if you do nothing else with your day and you'd like to volunteer. I'm like, who does nothing with their day and wants to volunteer? Okay. All right, let's bring it down.
We're very excited that you're supporting us emotionally, but if you'd like to support us with a little bit of
Money,
bring us that money, you can join us on Patreon. $3 gets you a sticker and a note from us, and $5 gets you a sticker and a monthly movie night.
And any of those will get you won't get to see it, but a text that goes from Aaron to me or me to Aaron that says, we got a new Patreon. Oh my gosh. And we flip out every time.
That's right. That's totally true.
That's a behind the scenes thing you didn't know.
All right. Thank you guys for everything. We love you all. We'll talk to you next week.
Good night.
La 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 la.
Do I need to read that again? Got a little sloppy there. Well, I'll drink it again and make it better.
A crisp start.
Okay. It's, see. The weirdest thing was that I felt like they were all cheering.
You got this.
You can do this. Okay.
My sister had bought me one of those keychains that would hold your ID pictures and had a zipper for changing money. For loose change. I can't. Sorry. I'm so sorry you know him and I'm being such a bitch.
I've met him one night.
Okay.
I don't have like this bond with him that I'm so mad that I'm finding it quite funny. Okay. Pissing you off so bad how long-winded he is.
Get to the point. Okay. Okay. Sorry. We cannot leave any of this in. We can't even use it in bloopers. It's not nice. Okay.
I mean, that first part about me saying like I find it endearing, I think that's okay to say, to leave it.
Okay. That makes you sound lovely. I sound like a bitch. Okay. Another story. My mom had bought a makeup kit. As soon as she found it, it went missing. Nope. I said that wrong.